Assalamu alaikum, everyone. We are waiting for more folks to join. We'll get started at 11 o'clock sharp. Okay, let's get started. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Welcome to the Parents Webinar for 2024-25 school year. My name is Gulrez. I volunteer as a communications lead at MCC Sunday School. Looking forward to the webinar today. I'm going to be running through the agenda quickly and then some of the logistics for the session. We have an address by Imam Tahir. We'll start with that. Then Principal Sister Shaima will welcome us all for the new school year. Brother Nabil is going to walk us through the student and parent expectations for the upcoming year. Then Brother Rafiq will talk to us about parent volunteering and expectations and opportunities. Brother Zubair will talk us through the digital platform Canvas and give us an overview on that. Then Brother Nabil will come back and talk about the book distribution logistics. And we have about 20 minutes towards the end of the session for Q&A. In terms of the logistics, please add your questions or any feedback or comments you have using the Q&A button. You will not be able to go off mute or use the chat button to interact with us. So please use the Q&A option to add your questions or comments or feedback. We are recording this meeting. We will be sharing the meeting recording as well as the deck after the session. With that, I'll switch over to Imam Tahir.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين أما بعد. I begin in the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. I bear witness that there is none worthy of worship except the one Allah, and that his beloved Nabi and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam is his last and final messenger. I would like to begin by saying Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, in the name of Allah, most beneficent, most merciful. Also by saying Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. I pray, inshallah, that this summer, the last few months and the last few weeks have been blessed for you and your family. This is not to say that they were free of worry, but we all, as believers, we're always in gratitude for everything that we have, content with what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has decreed for us, and remaining in constant dua, supplication, prayer for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to continue to make our lives better and easy and blessed for all of us, inshallah. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. You and I, of course, have gathered here. I must admit, this is a slight reminiscence of the days of COVID. I'm just excited that this is only for today's session because we will be meeting in person very soon, inshallah. But that being said, we have gathered here today, simply put, because most of you, if not all of you, are parents. And your children, and Allah has blessed you with children, which is a gift in and of itself. Allah says, يَهَبُ لِمَنْ يَشَاءُ إِنَاثًا وَيَهَبُ لِمَنْ يَشَاءُ الذُّكُورِ. So Allah has blessed you with a gift, and now you are fulfilling your parental responsibility. Allah says in the Quran, إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَأْمُرُكُمْ أَن تُؤَدُّوا الْأَمَانَاتِ إِلَىٰ أَهْلِهَا. We have certain trusts, and we need to fulfill these trusts. And among the trusts that Allah has blessed us with happens to be our children. And part of our responsibilities for our children is to pass along our faith, our morality, our character, our goodness onto the next generation. And the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam says that when you do that, sometimes as parents, we feel that it's my responsibility. I got to do it. I got to drive them to Sunday school. The Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam says, anyone that you teach anything and that person does that goodness, الدال على الخير كفاعله, right? It's as if you are doing that goodness and you get the reward for it. And so we begin this school year with the intention that we are bringing, and I'm not saying sending or taking, I'm saying bringing our children to the Sunday school every week, inshallah, to fulfill this amana and this responsibility. There's a lot that I can say here. My time is limited, and it's actually good that it is. But a few things I want to share with you, parents, and I'm hoping that most of you are here, if not all of you. Number one, and I'm telling you this as someone who went to Sunday school. I'm telling you this as a parent whose children went to Sunday school. And I'm telling you this as an individual who is praying these days that hopefully in the next 5-7 years has grandchildren that go to Sunday school. But that being said, bring your children to Sunday school. Don't just drop them off in the parking lot, okay? Make sure you get up. A lot of times parents will say, I wasn't dressed to walk into the masjid. You gotta wake up early, go to sleep early on Saturday night, whatever it takes. Come a little early, bring your children. It will make an impact in ways that you can't begin to imagine. Once they've left the assembly to go to their classrooms, then you can take off wherever. The second thing, come for dhuhr. Pray for dhuhr next to your child. It will make an impact. Just praying dhuhr next to your child for a few years during Sunday school may make an impact on your child that 8 or 9 years of studying in the Sunday school may not be able to make. Right? I want you to keep that in mind. So as parents, we have a certain responsibility towards our children. We're grateful to Allah that He has inspired us to fulfill that responsibility, and be an active family of our Sunday school program. Be an active participant in your child's life, and also make sure that you do not take going to Sunday school or your child's Sunday school homework lightly, because subtly what you're putting in their mind that swimming, math are more important than their Sunday school. And then that's how they end up being raised, knowing that I need to succeed in the real world with all of these things. And Islam just adds a little bit of flavor to it. Whereas it's the other way around. Islam is the main dish. Everything else simply happens to be things that add flavor to our lives. So as parents, we make a massive impact in the lives of our children. Let us understand that responsibility. And I will also tell you this, getting into MCC Sunday school, or of all Sunday schools, is a privilege. There's so many students that are trying to get into these various Sunday school programs, and there's massive waiting lists. So be grateful to Allah, be humbled, and let us all say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim as we begin this new school year. If I may, I'll just take one quick minute. I've been doing this ever since my children were in kindergarten. My youngest just graduated from high school this year, alhamdulillah. But I have a habit. On the first day of my child's school, okay, whether it's Islamic school, seminary, public school, Sunday school, whatever it is, any program that they're beginning, I try that morning to wake up for tahajjud. If I'm unable to wake up for tahajjud, I will definitely not miss my fajr. I will pray fajr, and then sometime after sunrise, I will pray an extra 2 rak'ahs, asking Allah for the blessed year of my child, and then give some sadaqah. Get into the habit of doing that for your children. You will see massive impacts. Barakallahu fikum, jazakumullahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you very much, Imam Tahir. Sister Shaima.
Assalamu alaikum, dear parents and students. Alhamdulillah, we are blessed to start another exciting year at MCC Sunday School. At MCC Sunday School, we strive to create an environment where our children can thrive academically and spiritually. Our dedicated teachers work hard not only to enhance our students' knowledge of Islam, but also to instill values of compassion, respect, and community. Parents, your support, like Imam Tahir said, and involvement are invaluable to us. Together, we can ensure our children receive the best education and develop strong Islamic identity. For the students, I want to encourage you to approach this year with enthusiasm and curiosity. Take advantage of every opportunity to learn, ask questions, in your understanding of our beautiful religion. Let us begin this academic year with a renewed sense of purpose and a commitment to excellence in everything we do. May Allah bless our efforts, guide us, and grant us success. Jazakumullah khairan for your continued support and dedication. Let's make this year a memorable and impactful one, inshallah. With this, I will pass it on to Brother Nabil. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Shaima. This is Nabil Sandhu. I am volunteering as the treasurer with MCC Sunday School. Just before I start, I want to remind that be generous with posting the questions. Don't wait till the end of the prepared remarks. So as we are flipping through the slides, please keep on posting your questions, because if you have a question, somebody else might have the same question as well. So with this, first of all, I would like to thank the returning families who are continuing their trust on MCC Sunday School for imparting quality Quranic and Islamic education. And for the new parents, welcome to the extended MCC Sunday School family. Please note that success does not come by chance. It needs intricate and careful planning and execution on part of the school volunteers to make the experience for the parents and students seamless every Sunday on a consistent basis. Are we perfect? Absolutely not. Are we curious and obsessed with continuous improvement? Absolutely yes. So one thing I want to highlight to all of you is that the faces you see on this panel are the people when you come next Sunday on the front office, the teachers, the traffic wardens, they all are volunteers. They're unpaid volunteers. So they have a day job just like yours. They're juggling so many balls at the same time. Volunteers still try to respond to your queries with a very short, quick turnaround. So my question for you all as parents is, how can you help us to help you better? There are three things I'm going to ask you. If you can go to the next slide, Brother Gurrez. Go through the school handbook, and go through the school handbook. Please, please, please. I can't overemphasize that. And the reason I'm saying is the handbook is a living and breathing 19-page document that is constantly updated by the school administration. And school administration are parents. So this is a document authored by the parents for the parents. It's written in a very comprehensible language, no gray areas, no exceptions. Even when you send us an email, what we normally do is we refer you to a hyperlink in the handbook. So handbook, in short, covers areas like guidelines for pick and drop, punctuality, attendance, academic standards, among other things. And on this slide, you can see there is a screen grab on how to get to that handbook. And after this webinar, we're going to share these slides with you as well. So there's a direct hyperlink to this as well. Just bookmark that and make sure this is not a stale document. This is updated. As you can see here, it has been updated just this month, August 2024. As we move to the next slide, this slide is important so this is the absence one, right? So a lot of time life happens. The kid cannot come to Sunday school. Instead of sending an email, report an absence. And if you've got multiple children, they all are not coming. So there would be a form for each child. So send it to us. You don't have to do anything. It takes 2 minutes. So you can do it either on your phone or through your web browser. So going to the next slide, this slide I was referring to, which is important. So the first section on the left-hand side is the student expectations. So first thing is academic, right? This is basically is the core goal of the whole ecosystem, either your parents, teachers, admin, and other volunteers who are working towards. Education excellence is self-evident. However, when it comes to attendance, some of us may imply that this is a means to an end. However, for MCC Sunday School, our philosophy is that attendance itself is a goal. We don't subscribe to a homeschooling kind of a mindset where as long as the student is completing assignments, they are scoring well on quizzes, you're good to go. We sincerely consider, and that's based on our historic experience, is that the thoughtful dialogues, interaction with the peers and teachers, they are paramount and the pillars for academic excellence. So our allowed absence criteria is inclusive of all aspects of life. That includes health, sports, travel, and therefore it's very lenient. So if for any reason a child misses Sunday school throughout the academic year, 7 or more Sundays, that child unfortunately would not graduate to the next year. And believe you me, this is not punitive. This is basically want to make sure that the class goes at a very nice pace, and then your child is exposed to the necessary curriculum before graduating to the next level. So there are no exceptions to that. And if that happens, we unfortunately we would not be able to graduate the student. So the first bullet point is the what. The second bullet point is the how part of the goal, which is as important as what. Inappropriate, offensive, or threatening comments, absolutely. No tolerance, no disruptive behavior by any participants during school. That would not be tolerated. Students who are disruptive during school will receive appropriate consequences in accordance with the school handbook. And that's why important to go through the handbook as well. Depending on the severity of the offenses, consequences can include removal from the Sunday school, unfortunately. Now, the second column on the right is the parents' expectation, right? So as mentioned earlier, everybody is unpaid volunteer. They're performing their task day in and day out, every Sunday. Sunday school does not mean that this group of people are only volunteering on Sunday. They are actually working during the work days, weekdays as well. So my respect to all the parents is that be respectful to them at the least. And if possible, even thank them when next time you see them because of their effort, their time, their dedication. And it takes a village to make the school running without permanent staff. Canvas, Brother Zubair would be covering that in detail, but just wanted to give you a sneak peek. It's a platform which is a source of truth. If you have to review your course calendar, monitor the performance of your children, or communicate with the teachers, that's the way to go. The third bullet point, parents play a very active, collaborative role in the education journey of children. Hence, we want you to partner with us in terms of ideas, time, and energy to maintain and improve the school operations. We are not the smartest people in the room. We want the collective wisdom of the community. Come forward, bring ideas, and we want to collaborate with you. There is a mandatory volunteering requirement which Brother Rafiq would go through, but I would encourage not to restrict yourself to that minimum threshold, because as Imam Tahir was saying, you can actually build the foundation for your kids by being an example of selfless community service for next generation. With this, I would hand over to Brother Rafiq, but don't forget to post your question in the Q&A.
Jazakumullah khair, Brother Nabil, and Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning, all parents. Welcome back, the returning parents, and welcome the new families who are joining this year. Before I get into this, I just want to mention that just introducing myself. I'm one of the members of the parent volunteering team, the amazing team, which includes other members, Rafi Ahmed, Farooq Binyar, and Altaf Momin, and many others who support. And I've had the opportunity to serve in this realm for the last 10 or 11 years, and I really love doing what I'm doing. Just talking about the parent volunteering, before I get into the details, first and foremost, I want to say that I want to thank all parents and families who volunteered last year. And without your help, it wouldn't have been possible for that successful year last year. And it was amazing. And at the bottom of my heart, I want to thank them and pray for their well-being. If you can go to the next slide. The parent volunteering, this is one of the core pillars for us. As you can imagine, Brother Nabil spoke about the importance of volunteering. This complete organization, the 100% of the organization is run by volunteers. Except for the couple of security guards, which are paid. Other than that, every single person on this institution is volunteers. What that means is, we need a lot of support from you as parents, and there are also non-parents who are volunteering here as teachers and everything. So we need your support to keep our students safe and also for the smooth functioning of the school. The there are, outside of the teaching activities, there are around 10 volunteering events that you can participate every Sunday. I'll talk to those events in a bit, but usually this volunteering, is at the MCC facility, and this actually goes from 9:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. Right? That doesn't mean that you have to be here all the time. There are events which kind of runs for an hour or sometimes the full 4 hours. Right? We'll talk about that in a bit. Every family is required to perform 15 hours in the entire year, which is, I think we'll have around 33 Sundays as part of the academic year between the semester 1 and semester 2, and you are required to do 15 hours out of that. And again, I think we encourage you to do more, but 15 is the minimum that everyone is required to do. You have all deposited, there is a refundable deposit that you have put, a voluntary deposit, $200, that will be refunded once you complete the 15 hours. One of the questions they often get is, I have a high school student, I have a high school kid who is volunteering, does that count towards our family hours? The answer to that is no. The reason is that there are different avenues in which we are incentivizing that effort. More often, the high school students have the requirement for their community service hours, and we do provide the documentation or the letters which confirms the completion of that hour. So if in case your high school kids are doing any volunteering at MCC, please reach out to us and we can provide that documentation. One other thing that I encourage you to pay attention to is the zero-hour volunteering policy, and which kicked off a couple of years ago, 2 years ago to be precise. And I'll talk about that in a bit in the next couple of slides. But that's something that I want all of you to pay attention to. The only class or the only set of families who are exempt from parent volunteering requirement, which means the 15-hour minimum and the 0-hour policy included, is the Mohsen families. So they are not, bound by the parent volunteering. If you can go to the next slide. These are the volunteering events I just spoke about, and I'll spend a little bit of time here because I think over past many years I made some observation, and I think some of these are questions as well that I have often received. Is these events, you can, as a family, your mom and dad or husband and wife, you both or one of you, you can sign up for this, right? And how can you sign up? You can sign up through the parent portal. All these activities that you're seeing here are already reflected. And our first day of school is 2 weeks from now. No, sorry, a week from now. It's on the 18th, which is Sunday. And you can now go in right now, and you will see all these activities out there. You can sign up for the next week or the last working day of this year. All of those dates are open, so you can plan it right now, and I encourage you to do that. It helps you to plan, and it helps us to plan as well in terms of what's the pipeline looks like and what alternative arrangements that we have to do. So I encourage you to do that. If in case, and these parent portal also will tell you what are the different activities included under each of these events. Meaning, for example, I'm just going to pick on the security shift 1 in this case, right? So this starts from 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. On a Sunday. And the activities under this are documented in the parent portal as well as in the mccsundayschool.org website. It includes guarding the doors, watching out for kids going in and out. There shouldn't be people loitering in the hallways, watching the restroom area if somebody is kind of just stuck there and things like that. So it's pretty much kind of keeping the interior, the exterior or the boundaries as well as the interior of the school safe and sound. In addition to this, we have paid volunteers. They're gonna just make sure the extended exterior of the campus is safe, but we need support from you all to protect the boundaries and the interiors. Similarly, all these activities have its own set of all these events have its own set of activities. So encourage you to read through it so that you know, and please do suggest anything which you think need to be added to that. Or it could be a new event, or it could be an additional activity under these events, right? Because, you know, I'm sure you all are doing similar stuff. You have done it in the past, or maybe you're doing it in some other settings. So we definitely encourage your feedback. One other thing is just keeping on time, which is, you know, for example, if it's an activity starting at 10 a.m., please be on time, or at least check in 9:55, right? Because more often what happens is, you know, if you come in 30 minutes late for a, you know, 1 hour activity, that doesn't serve the purpose. So if you can just keep that in mind, try to be on time, that will help a lot. The other thing I think Brother Nabil alluded to is being respectful, right? In both ways. If you are doing as a volunteer, respectful to the parents who are, you know, coming in, and the vice versa as well. If you are a parent, be respectful to the volunteers, because they are not, you know, they are actually doing above and beyond and trying to do something to serve the community. That being said, if you can go to the next slide, please. I spoke about the 0-hour policy. This is a policy that was introduced 2 years ago. The reason was, you know, we've had a lot of families who have not come in to volunteer, right? And we wanted them to come in and volunteer. And also, that is one aspect of it. The other aspect of it is we need more volunteers. We've had situations where we have had a rush in the beginning of the year, but in the middle of the year, towards the end of the year, we do not have enough volunteers to do all the things that is required to keep our students safe. So we wanted to encourage and pull parents to come in and volunteer. That's where this policy was introduced. And guess what? I think the last year is when the second year of the policy was kicked in, and we've had a very positive inflow of parents coming into volunteer, which is great. So what this policy is, you know, I'll just make this very simple for you, for your return, for a family who is already here. Just go back and look at your last year's volunteering hours. If you have not done anything, you are at the risk this year, if in case you are not able to do any volunteering this year as well, right? So please pay attention to it. Do go back, look at your log of last year volunteering as a family. It's not by parent, it's by family. So if in your family, between you, husband and wife, if you are taking care of this is, you know, that's great. But as a family, if you have not done single hour of volunteering, what I would encourage is go into the system, sign up right now for this year. And if you have a genuine reason, please reach out to volunteering@sundayschool.org, or come and see us in the front desk as you come in to drop your kids, or drop your kids. So that being said, you know, I think there may be questions, so feel free to post them in Q&A, and we would like to answer your questions today as much as we can, and can always follow up during the next many weeks. Go to the next slide. All right, so a few hygiene items here. Like I said, sign up is you have multiple channels to sign up. Parent portal is the most efficient because you can do it at the leisure of your home. You know, go into the portal, review all your schedule, review all the activities, and then start signing up. Don't worry about, you know, if you are going to sign up for something 3 months out, don't worry about, hey, you know, I might not remember, so I might wait for the next 2 months to sign up. You don't have to do that. You will get reminders. So, you know, you will get notified when you are, when there is an event coming up. So don't worry about that. One request is, if you have if you have signed up, you're not able to do it, you know, that's completely understandable. That something comes up in all our lives. But do let us know as soon as you are aware that you're not able to make to a committed date. So let us know in advance. Please avoid no-shows. This helps us to make some alternative plan to fulfill that particular commitment. The The hours that you complete, you have to, when you're coming in, there are two ways to log that. There is an online Google form, which you kind of submit, say that, hey, I just came in today. I fulfill my commitment, right? So that's one thing that you can do when you sign in, right? You can do that online. And that link is provided along with the reminder email. The other way is you will have a manual physical log at the front desk. You can just sign in, right? A physical signature. You don't have to do both. I mean, if you're doing both, that's completely fine. But you at least have to do either one of them. The deposit I spoke about, this deposit is $200. And as soon as you complete the minimum requirement, you can go into the website and put in a request for the refund, and that just gets credited in a few weeks to your credit card or debit card. I think those are the things that I wanted to cover. Again, I think this is one of the core pillars. Parent volunteering is one of the core pillars, and this is where we, as the families and parents, also get an opportunity to Imam Tahir's point, that you get an opportunity to serve the community, be the role model for your kids. So take this opportunity to do it. I mean, I started like this, doing an hour of yard duty, and guess what? 11 years later, I'm still here. So if you have any questions, the volunteering at mccsundaySchool.org email is the most appropriate way to communicate. So you can send an email, and we'll respond to it in a couple of days, if not the same day. And you can also stop by at the front desk when the school starts. That's all I had to cover. Jazakumullah khair for listening, and Assalamu alaikum. I hand it over to Brother Zubair to talk about Canvas. And before I do that, please post your questions in the Q&A channel, and we'll try to answer towards the end of the call. Brother Zubair.
Thank you. We've had lots of questions. We were asking them live, Aseti, on the Q&A, and we'll also answer some of them live. So please keep sending your questions. So if you go to the next slide, please. I want to talk about Canvas and why we have it as a platform. We started using this during COVID years, but we've maintained it because it actually helps us accomplish a lot of things. It brings our resources, our teachers, and our students and parents together. And I want to give you an example of each. So if you go to the next slide, in terms of resources, right, we had quizzes, we had assignments, we had communication, materials that teachers were creating in the prior years, and we would actually not have continuity. If a teacher left, again, these are volunteers, we would have no continuity, we would have no artifacts that we could reuse. But with Canvas, we're able to put everything online. It's all in a single place. Links to important videos or lectures or whatever is relevant that teachers have discovered and identified. We use some teachers also use Kahoot. Those uses are also in Canvas. So all of this is connected. So that's the main benefit we get from having Canvas. If you go to the next slide, in terms of teachers, if you notice, each grade level has multiple sections, and teachers can collaborate. They can share quizzes, they can share assignments, they can share even the messaging they're sending to the parents, right? So it basically helps us scale. So if a new teacher joins, they can reuse the content from the courses for the same level from other teachers. So it's very easy, and it makes sure that we can continue to Brother Nabil's point, message of continuous improvement. We can continue to make ourselves better in terms of not only what we deliver, but how we deliver it. And then third example of how Canvas is helpful is it's a single place. If you go to the next slide, please, Brother Gulrez. It's very useful both for students and parents because everything is in one place. You don't have to figure out, oh, what happened to my handout? Where is the homework? It's all in one place. Parents log in, you see all your children and all their classes in one place. You log in, you get all the announcements that are relevant for all your students across all these sections. Students log in, they can see what are the upcoming quizzes and assignments. If teachers are using Canvas for grading, you can see your grades. Everything is in one place. So you are connected with everything that Sunday School has to offer in terms of its curriculum. Okay, so hopefully with that motivation now, I want to make sure that there's probably some new parents here, but it's also a reminder for returning parents, right? Please make sure you go to this, use either QR code or go to the link here, mccss.instructor. You can also find this by going to Sunday School website. There's a Canvas thing right there at the top or on the left, depending if you're mobile or on a desktop. Do not Google Canvas and go to the first Canvas link. You'll probably end up with the University of Hawaii Canvas. Don't do that. Go to this link, please, right? To log in, enter the email address you gave us when you signed up as a parent. If you have multiple email addresses, please use the one that you registered with Sunday School. I personally deal with some of these emails and I see people emailing me from the Yahoo address and say, no, you actually use the Hotmail address to sign up with us. So please use the correct email address and the password. For new parents, you were emailed, this was emailed to you like maybe like last Sunday. You should have gotten an email with your Canvas login information. For returning parents, it's either your old password or whatever you reset it to. So please follow that process. And if you ever want to revisit these instructions, just go to the website, click on parents and how to log in, and you'll find these details. Okay, on next slide, Brother Glaze, I want to show you what it looks like. We have a slightly different flow for students and parents. And the reason for this is that parents, you bring your own email address. But for students, we give them the email address, right? And we use Google for the email and whatnot. So if you're a parent and you get to the Sunday School Canvas link, you should see the Sunday School logo. If you don't see the Sunday School logo, you're probably at University of Hawaii Canvas or University of Minnesota, whatever, right? Enter your email, enter your password, click on login. You should be able to get in. For your student, do not enter the email password. First, click on login with Google. I don't know how many emails I've handled in the last 2-3 years where I just repeat this to people in an email that please click on login with Google and then enter the Sunday School email and password for your child. And then you should be able to see. Another thing that I get a lot of emails about, but I think they've lessened over the years, is when teachers create assignments for a student, parents are notified of the assignments, but parents cannot complete the assignments by logging in. You must log in as the student to be able to see the assignment, to complete the assignment, right? So please make sure you remember this distinction on your laptops, computers, whatever you use at home. Parent login will give you different information than student login, okay? And follow these steps, please. If you go to the next slide, when you log in, you'll see a very simple interface that will show all the courses that are relevant to you. So as a parent, you'll see, let's say you have 2 children, you probably see 4 courses, like Quranic, Islamic for each child. You'll see the upcoming calendar events, if any announcements by those teachers, including any upcoming assignments. And finally, you can directly communicate with the teacher item. So there's an inbox link on the left, and you can send an email and see all the communication the teacher has sent in the past. So please use this to interact. We try to don't overshare email addresses with teachers and parents. So use it as the primary mechanism to communicate with your class parents, teachers. If you go to the next slide, Brother Gulrez. One important thing that I recommend you do as soon as you log in is set up notifications. So if you click on account on the left, you'll see this notification option. And if you go to the next slide, with the Gulrez, you'll see that you can set notifications on each type of entity. So you can set notifications on due dates. You can set notifications on grades. If the course content has changed, maybe the teacher has posted some new material. And you can set these either to be notified immediately, daily, weekly summary. I recommend just go with the default. It basically will notify you immediately. This will make sure that you don't miss anything important. For example, we had this teacher sort of send a message that, hey, I'm going to change the chapter that I'm going to cover this coming week in the syllabus, right? And then the student shows up and they're unfamiliar with it. So because the parent didn't really look at that notification. So please make sure you do have a timely notification set up for all these things. And yeah, just to close out, if you go to the next slide, if you ever need support, please try to self-help first. You can go to, again, our website, remote learning is right there. It'll show you everything about Canvas. If you need help, email remote learning specifically to Canvas. Otherwise, you can always email us at info, and this entire team gets it, and then one of us will respond. So before I hand over to Brother Nabil for book distribution, again, please take a moment. If you heard something that was unclear or you have another question, just post it at Q&A.
Thank you, Brother Zubair. Very impressed with the insightful questions. Almost 100 of you are posting, and I am the only one between you and the Q&A session, so I would try to go pretty quickly. So this is book distribution, which actually is happening tomorrow. So let's move to the next slide, Brother Gulrez. So one of the best practices we are inheriting from pandemic era is this book distribution logistics. We used to actually have that in person. This webinar was in person, then volunteer sign up was in person, but now we have made it pretty easy for you. It's a very quick drive-through book collection, takes less than 2 minutes for you, but it's a lot of logistics behind it. So on this slide, you would see is that if your kids are in grade which are highlighted in blue, pre-K, KG, high school, and our MOSIN program, there are no books for those kids. But if you have other siblings who are between grade 1 through 8, you need to collect books tomorrow. Yesterday around 9 p.m. PST, you would have received an email which looks like something as is on the screen grab. This is just a template. These are not real names. Just wanted to let you know from data privacy perspective. You would have family ID, you have got the parents' names, and you would have student's name. This is a prerequisite for you to collect the books. If you don't have that email, unfortunately, we would not be able to hand you the books. If you haven't received it, check your spam folder or junk folder. That would certainly be there. If you haven't received that, send us an email on info@mccsundayschool.org so we make sure that you're all set to quickly drive in, collect the books, and exit. You don't have to come out of the car. So one of the things, if you're new to Sunday school, this is a pretty standard drill for existing families, but for new families, you drive into the Sunday school. I'm going to show you an aerial view in the next slide, but what happens is that you show a screen grab or an actual live email like this to our volunteers. And what they're going to do is they're going to bring you the books. And again, no books for pre-K, kindergarten, high school, and MOSIN program. What happens is we have been receiving some emails that I am not around, I cannot come and collect. You can request one of your friends who are coming to pick the book, but make sure that you forward this email to them if you're comfortable. Because if they come in and they don't have your email, we're not going to give them the books. And again, can't overemphasize, all the people who would be there are volunteers. Please listen to them, comply with the instructions, be respectful to them. And if you have not received this email, just reach out to us ASAP. Next slide is basically just a pictorial view, an aerial view of the school, the facility. You enter. There's only one way to enter the facility. Enter from the Las Positas Boulevard, closer to the Sunday school entrance, not closer to the masjid. So you can see this scheme. You come from there, keep driving, take a slight left where the pantry is. That's where you would see volunteers wearing vest. You would show that email or screen grab of that email, and then somebody would bring you the book. It should not take you more than 120 seconds once you have parked there. You grab the books, and then you can keep driving. You don't have to park. You don't have to come out of the car. One of the things, we would be doing this exercise from 11 a.m. tomorrow till 2 p.m. PST. Try to look at that table on the bottom left of the screen, which shows you the first letter of your last name. So we want to avoid congestion. Try to come based on your allocated time slot. So you can see, for example, A through H is 11 through noon, and then R to Z is through through 2 p.m. Now the question is, what if you are collecting on behalf of one of your friends, and they of course have a different family name? Just follow your family name. There can be some exceptions, but just follow your family name, and then you keep on driving. With this, we want to give ample time for Q&A, so I will hand back to Brother Gulrez, who would be facilitating the Q&A for us.
Thank you, Brother Nabil, and rest of the panel. So we do have a lot of questions. So if you're not able to get through all the questions in time, please do not worry. We will respond to all the questions async over the next few days. So with that, I'll start with the first question. We have heard that MCC Masjid would be doing an expansion construction project. Would that impact the school's operations? If yes, how? I'll request Sister Shaima to take that one, please.
Thank you for the question. We have been informed by the board that they are going to be starting construction soon. As you would have heard from them, that we would be having a Sunday school built for us on the second level of MCC, and the construction would start sometime soon. As of right now, what we have been told by the board that we will continue the whole of the first semester in school, and if needed, we will transition in the second semester to a different venue, but the school will not close. We will continue operations, and we'll just move all our the whole school to a different venue, and we will operate from a different place. MCC has held Sunday school in different schools like Hart Middle School before. So that is the proposed, that is something that they are thinking about. It might be there, it might be somewhere else, but we will keep you informed, and inshallah we'll make the transition smooth. So hopefully, inshallah, our operation will not be disrupted by that.
Thank you, sister. Next question I have is, can uncle, grandmother, aunt volunteer on behalf of the parents? Brother Rafiq, you want to take that?
That's a great question, which I think that if I'm trying to rephrase that, uncle and aunt of related to that particular family, it should be possible. I think what I would encourage is, maybe if there is a, you can add the family members in the system. There is a way to add in the parent portal to add the additional family members. So if we can add them, that will help us. The reason we are saying that is we want to make sure that there is some tracking of who's coming in, because they are in the very close proximity to the kids. So although we don't for the parent volunteers who are coming in for short-term volunteering, we don't enforce background check or anything, but still at least we would need to have some sort of contact details, first name, last name information in the system. So what I would encourage is to, if you plan to have uncle, aunt, grandparents, you can add them as additional family members in the system. And that way we have some information available as they come in to volunteer.
Thank you, Brother Rafiq. Brother Zubair, I think you can take the next one. The question is, sometimes we need to go out to our home country for a longer period of time. Is it possible to have virtual classes for these exceptional scenarios so that students successfully graduate?
Yeah, I answered this question in the Q&A, but let me repeat it here. So we just want to make sure you don't miss more than 7 Sundays of classes, right? If you're going to miss them, perhaps you can't attend Sunday school. If you do not miss more than 7, then make sure you coordinate with the teacher of your students' classes to make sure the teacher feels that the student can matriculate to the next year. So, in short, please, we understand you have these reasons that you can't be here. If you cannot meet 7, have more than 7 absences, then please, maybe Sunday school is not working out for you. If you're going to be close to 7, make sure your teacher doesn't come and say, hey, your child is struggling, because then it becomes a issue of like, is the child struggling because the child is struggling, or is it because the child is struggling because they did not attend enough classes? So if you can be proactive about this rather than passive, I think that would be only to your benefit.
Yeah, just one
Thank
thing
you.
I want to add. There was one part of the question, if there are any virtual classes. Unfortunately, we don't have any virtual classes, so we can't have ambidextrous, like having an in-person at the same time we're going to have virtual. So if you're traveling, then you just miss the Sunday school. There would be no accommodation for virtual classes.
Thank you, Brother Nabil and Brother Zubair. Next question, I think, Brother Rafiq, you can take. It says, I'm on the parent portal and not sure how to select available event. Is it live, and how do I select volunteer events?
Let me share my screen here. I don't know if I'm able to. I have that kind of no. I don't want to take up everyone's time, but what you could do is when you're going into the system, there is as a parent, there is something called manage volunteering on your left-hand side menu, and then you go to the the list of events, and that is where you can sign up for an activity. So you will see something at the bottom saying add event, and you can use that, and then all the events which is available will show up for your selection. If you still have any questions, drop an email, and then I will be able to assist you.
Yeah, may I suggest something? For parents like this, like we can try to troubleshoot over email, but just drop by on day one. You'll come in anyways, right, to drop off your child. Just talk to the front desk and the volunteer team, and they can show you how.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Brother Rafiq and Brother Zubair. I think the next one is similar. So I'm going to read it, but we probably don't need to answer it again. The question is, I'm logged into mccsundayschool.org, but I can't seem to select volunteer duty. Is it not enabled yet? So I'm going to say the same answer for that as Brother Zubair said. You reach out to us through the email or drop by at the front desk.
Yes. And you should be logging into the admin.mccsundayschool.org. You won't be able to sign up on the website. You have to log in to the admin portal to do it. But again, like we said earlier, send us an email at volunteering@mccsundayschool.org, and we can help you through that channel. If you're not able to do that, we can actually do that during the first day of school.
Thank you, Brother Rafiq. Sister Shaima, I think you can take the next one. The question is there any after-school help available for kids if they're struggling in certain areas?
That would depend upon the subject. For Islamic studies is pretty simple. If you can spend some time with the kids on the weekends and go through the weekend learning series, there is a lot of content you would be able to sit down and discuss with your students and go through it together. But you still have any questions, you can always come back to the teachers and ask them about it, and they should be able to help. Regarding Quranic studies, which gets a little more trickier, we emphasize that our Quranic studies curriculum is only meant to supplement anything that you are doing outside. So that means that the kids should be doing Quranic recitation or reading outside on a regular basis during the weekdays. And this would help them cruise through whatever we are teaching comfortably and confidently without any issue. If they are not, I would suggest to you basically, look into classes. MCC does have a lot of Quranic classes which they offer, and they are open and their registrations are open or enrollments are open right now. So you can actually reach out to them. These would be Monday, Tuesday classes, or Monday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Thursday classes, and they have online as well as on-site classes. So that would be a good addition to add on to the weekday. If the kids do need any additional help, the teachers are extremely dedicated and are always willing to help. Just reach out to the teachers and talk to them, and inshallah, they will be able to, they will try to help as much as they can.
Thank you, Sister Shaima. There's another question about volunteering. Are all the volunteering events for the whole year available on the portal?
They are available. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Brother Rafiq. Brother Zubair, you can take this one, I think. I don't see any courses in Canvas when I log in. Are my children enrolled?
Yeah, your children should be enrolled. And the way you can confirm that is once you log into Canvas, click on courses, and there's an option that says all courses. And it'll show you all upcoming courses as well. And if you don't see anything there, then please email info, right? So the reason you don't see courses immediately when you log in is teachers are still working on creating the course content and publishing it. So give them a few more days. But to be absolutely sure, log in, click on courses, click on all courses, and you should see all upcoming courses for your family.
Thank you, Brother Zubair. The next question I have is, how can I learn more about the curriculum that will be covered during the school year? Sister Shaima, maybe you can take this one.
We have all the curriculum that is covered in each individual class on our website under the tab Our School, and you can go into the curriculum link under it. You will see actually what are the topics covered in each grade level, and what are the surah in Islamic and for the Quranic, all the surahs that are covered, and whatever the recitation requirements are there, all that is available on there. If you still have any questions, you can always reach out to the teachers. They will be letting you know on their Canvas what they are going to be covering regularly. And if you have any further questions, you can either email us, or you can come and talk to us, email the teachers, or come talk to me in the office, inshallah. So, we are here to support you, and we are here to help you in whatever way we can, inshallah.
Thank you, Sister Shaima. Brother Zubair, I think you can take the next one. The question is, last year a teacher created a WhatsApp parents group to communicate, and it worked very well. Can we stick to this instead of Canvas?
Yeah, I think this is an interesting approach here. If parents and teachers are self-organizing, then go for it. But a school will not share parent information with teachers, and vice versa. We will expect you to communicate through Canvas or email. So yeah, please go ahead, but we don't condone this activity because it involves very personal information. So if a teacher is comfortable sharing their phone number with parents, and parents are comfortable seeing each other's phone numbers, then that's your decision. You're all adults. Something school does not recommend. We want communication to happen through Canvas. We need to have records of communication. But Nabil mentioned our policies of sometimes we have disciplinary action issues. Parents will say, I didn't get any communication. We sometimes open Canvas and say, hey, look at all these emails that were sent to you. They were sent on these dates. This was the language. This is how you responded. So we have reasons for having a single place of documentation for all our interactions. So, but we can't stop adults from doing what they want to do.
Thank you, Brother Zubair. Brother Nabil, I think this could be a good question for you. The question is, the school handbook says it was last updated in August of 2024. What changes have you made since last year?
Yes, as I mentioned, it's a living and breathing document. All the decisions we make, that's our source of truth. If it's not in the handbook, that is not a policy. So the couple of things that we have added is that for returning parents, you would know that we have revised our fee structure. It used to be $150 per student and $150 per family reimbursable volunteering charges. We have actually changed that to 200 in each category, 200 each child and 200 reimbursable volunteering charges per family. So that is one change which has happened. The other one is that Mohsin program, they are not part of the volunteering thing. So they are not required as per the school policy to complete 15 hours of volunteering hours. And because of that, we would not be charging them 200 per family for reimbursable volunteering. We have done that in this school year, but we're in the process of reimbursing that to the Mohsin families only.
Thank you, Brother Nabil. Next one, I think, Brother Zubair, you can take this one. The question is, my child's portal should let me know their status if they're admitted or waitlisted. If they're showing waitlisted, when and how would I be informed if they're admitted? Is it via email?
So if your student is shown as waitlisted in the portal, then yes, they are not admitted. So there are one or two possibilities. You either created your account before Jan 2024, then we should have contacted you in Jan and Feb 2024 for maybe Quranic assessment and the dates and everything. But if you create your account after enrollment was closed, then we will contact you in Jan Feb 2025. So that is when we start the enrollment process, or at least the communication of it. The actual enrollment happens more like April, May. and Quranic assessment happens in March. So yeah, we start contacting the roster of waitlist students in Jan-Feb, preceding the August of the school year.
Thank you, Brother Zubair. I think that's all the questions we have, and we are almost at time. If you have any follow-up questions or anything else, please reach out to us via email, or you can drop by in the front desk and we'll do our best to help you. The recording will be shared along with the deck, so you can refresh if anything needs to be refreshed. Thank you everyone for joining us today, and hope you have a wonderful rest of the weekend.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.